break, I said, I feel like today's show's been a little heavy.
Yeah, it has.
And I said, I know no better way to cheer everybody up than to talk to our favorite Ragin Cajun.
Yep.
Even though he's under the gun right now.
Hey, buddy, we've had Ida come through there and wreck things again. Our favorite Ragin Cajun, John Morgan, back on the show. Johnny.
How you doing, Ricky? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man.
John, how are you?
Yeah, how are you doing?
Well, I was doing good. Speedy called, and sent a message and just to make sure I was okay. And I thought that was heartwarming. You need that when your friends are away, that they could call you and lend you some love and a helping hand, Now, Bubba calling and asking if I dropped dead could he have the truck. That was a little much.
Well, it's a good truck, John. It's really impressive.
Oh, boys, let me tell you something, man. The good Lord spared my little parish. We got parishes, y'all got counties. And at the last minute, that thing took a little right-hand turn, and she went on up into direct hit to Baton Rouge. So we were lucky enough to be spared on the west side. Yes, huh? West with the best, east with the geese.
Yes.
And we were being able to be spared a little bit on this side. Damage, yeah. Trees down, yeah. Loss of life, longevity without electricity, no. So we would have got a direct hit had not it taken that turn. With that being said, because it took that turn, the towns of New Orleans and Morgan City and LaPlace and Prairieville and Gonzales and Baton Rouge and Zachary and Baker and all through that side going into Mississippi and then making its way in Alabama, just got the royal hell beat out of it like a stepchild with red hair and freckles. You take a deep breath, though. You know what I mean? You take a deep breath.
Yeah, you do. Hey, good news. The Biden administration will be all over it.
Bad news is he's coming.
well, look, he ain't never gonna find it. I mean, it's that, God love him. God love him.
Listen, if he does, he's gonna call it Katrina or Sandy or something.
Right.
So, John, you decided to ride it out, huh?
Yeah, let me tell you, man. When I first built my house, many of people, including my contractor who was helping me, tried to talk me out of putting a generator in right away because they said that could be something that could be added. You can't add life-saving equipment when it's needed. It's need to be added way before it's time. So I was lucky enough to have a generator and being able to help out other few people of keeping some things, together for them and running. And so we made it through that way by the grace of God planning. I will tell you this. No matter how hard we were hit in South Louisiana, I can promise you we were more prepared than we have ever been before because I believe that we are learning our lesson. Now, is that true in a broad sense? Time will tell, but I truly believe we are learning our lessons of the past. Of one, you got to get out if you're in low-lying areas, and number two, you got to be prepared for the worst. Yeah. Prepare for the worst and ride out the best. And most of all is prayers. You got to have your feet on stable ground, and you got to say your prayers and ask the good Lord to give you the strength to make it through whatever's going to come your way, no matter what it is, a hurricane or life situation. So hanging in there and doing the best we can with what we got, my brothers.
So it did make a turn. You guys were very fortunate. The others, took the hit. Did most people that ended up getting, because we're not hearing, thank the Lord, near the loss of life that we dealt with last time. So to your point, it looks like the people of Louisiana have learned from the past. Did most of those that were directly hit, did they do a good job of evacuating?
No, because I don't think many of them were thinking that the storm would remain in its strength. As Speedy and I were talking earlier, it still remained a 2 coming on land all the way up into Baton Rouge.
Right. Yeah, right.
So we were still faced with 115, 100-mile-an-hour wind. And there was an assumption that they were going to be in a clear at some point and it was going to die down. Well, let me tell you something. The Mother Nature is a horrible beast. As well as she is giver, she will taketh away.
Yeah.
And so in the broader spect, no, they weren't. But in hindsight, I'm not going to quarterback on anybody. I knew we hunkered down. It was a good thing we hunkered down. We lost electricity, and I want to thank God right now, just in the midst of my brothers, that he took away cell phones too.
Yes.
Because it forced the family to look at each other and to evaluate each other and to know what's important, bro. You know, what's really important is the eyes staring back from you, good or bad, up or down. And it just was good to be around family and have them all dwell together, you know. And then you know, late yesterday afternoon, cell phones came back on, and I lost my children.
Yeah.
So what about how's everybody in the Morgan house fared through the pandemic?
You know, we're all right, buddy. Old Johnny took a turn last year and got really sick, and bounced out of that. And it wasn't COVID, but I bounced out of that. Nobody in the family so far, knock on wood, has gotten COVID except you wouldn't believe this. The Chinese daughter. Ain't that something? The only one that caught COVID was the Chinese daughter. Ain't that something?
Look, I'm afraid to even comment on that.
No, listen to me. She's 18 years old now. You know, been having her since she was 8 months old. You know, we had to separate her from the family when COVID hit. We had to separate her. And it was important for the health of the rest of the family. No, that's not true.
You're terrible.
John, you're awful.
You're go get it.
You've been underground too long.
Hey, bro, you know what? Even in the face of all of this that comes at us negative, it is imperative that the good Lord gave me the muscles to smile and move forward.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what we all do. And I'll tell you what, your people down in southern Alabama, down by the Mobile area, and stuff like that, they got some horrid stories down there because, again, they were on the east side.
Oh, yeah.
And now maybe the coast didn't get it like it would have if it had come straight to them. But good God Almighty, they took their own brunt of it all through, you know, southern Mississippi and southern Alabama, and you know we all came out of it. You know, we came out of it. That's the resilience of people in the southeast of this great nation is to rise above it. Somebody asked me one time, well, if y'all got all those hurricanes down there, won't you move? Well, before I could reach over the counter to choke this man, he backed up over his chair. And the truth is that I don't want to go nowhere. It's no different than somebody that's got to fight snow every doggone winter. Are you going to move? This is where we live. This is our home. This is our way of life. And these are the trials and tribulations that we got to put up with. And if you love where you are, you deal with it and you make it better and you try to, you know, recoup each time. But in the larger spectrum of things, it's home, and we shall rebuild, and we'll overcome it, and we'll learn. Hopefully, hopefully we will learn, you know?
Now, John, I've never been to your house, but I hear you live on a little hill down there. It's like 3 foot above sea level. Is that right?
Let me tell you this, brother. I sold that one. You know, remember I sold that one. I built another house.
Oh, really?
The worst mistake I ever made was to act as a general contractor. I had to get my Chinese daughter to help me figure out how to use Siri to translate. You build something in this country today, there's going to be a Latino crew on the job site. You heard me?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and then when my wife would show up in her police unit, I'd lose half my crew. You know, I'd have to run in the backyard and let her know, I'm sleeping with this one. Come back. I'm sleeping with her. Come back. It became
John,
hell,
you're awful. You're awful funny. I'll say that.
Well, it's great to hear from you, John.
We're glad to know you're good.
Glad you know you're all right, man.
Hey, may you always be in thoughts and prayers, and know that I love you guys. Speedy, you ain't nothing but the man. Bubba, you rotten. You get my truck. You rotten.
Hey, that's a nice truck.
It is. Come see us, John. We love you.
I love you guys.
See you, buddy.